Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to Season 18, the Nexus Gaming Series inaugural match of the season. I'm going to be your host, The Sound, and I am excited to bring this, the first match of our NGS Season 18. We're going to be taking a look at Division A. We're going to see Came From Behind taking on Magnitude Epicenter in a best-of-3 series. Came From Behind are fresh off of a Season 17 Grand Finals Championship win for Division B. On the other hand, Magnitude are a relatively new team this season, but there are plenty of familiar faces, a couple of rookies, but no strangers to NGS overall. We can take a look at the rest of the field here, and of course, everybody is tied for first because nobody's played any points, so that all makes sense. Here are all of the teams that they'll be going up against. In the meantime, we'll take a look at the battlegrounds. We had we had Magnitude winning the coin toss and opting for first pick, so we got bans on the Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom, with Sky Temple and Baraxis, the other two. And it looks like we are just about to get started here in our first draft. Excellent, excellent. Well, let's get into it. Something interesting of note between these two teams, there is a bit of history across these rosters. Both sides have played on different teams across the seasons with one another. MDC was a sub for Came From Behind last season. Huckett, Top Gun, Delta, Sniper, MDC, and Mac Daddio all used to be members of Death and Delay. So even though this is the first match of the season, we may see more nuanced scouting and bans as a result. Right off the bat, we've got Garrosh and Anduin going for both sides. Battlefield of Eternity is pretty good for the War Chief, so not too surprising to see Garrosh taken away there. His ability to displace folks into the immortal stun circles can be really devastating. Magnitude Epicenter going with a Valera ban here. Not what I would have expected. Once again, probably a result of that knowledge that they have of each other's hero pools from playing together on various teams. Last ban here from Came From Behind. Gonna be Blaze. Excellent. So first pick, kind of the meta-defining choice here for this series. We'll see what Epicenter choose to prioritize here. They do have a fair bit of Ming play across their various account histories, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see them pick that up, though I'm not sure if it would be a first pick. We've got a lot of powerful choices still available, and it looks like they are going to rip the Li Ming in the first slot. She offers a lot of good poke onto the Immortal, and that is an immediate grab on the Stukov. So no cleanse from Came From Behind, but lots of sustained healing for any sort of objective fight that falls into that slow poking style. And they've locked in their Immortal Burn with the Vala. Both Q build and auto attack build very potent at burning through the objective HP. So last 2 picks before our second ban phase. I'd love to see Magnitude pick up a healer here so that they don't feel squeezed. And they'll do just that, going with Rhaegar and Anubarak. Rhaegar and Anubarak were both pretty popular choices for Came From Behind last season. Of course, Came From Behind's roster has shaken up a bit since Season 17. They have parted ways with Beachy Man and picked up Greek Freezer, so that may have shifted their priorities a bit. They've banned out the Hogger, not wanting to see MDC pick up the Knoll. And Magnitude Epicenter have narrowed the tank field a bit here with the Anubarak pick and the Garrosh ban already, so we may see another tank ban here. I think a Diablo would be a great ban. They're going to go for the Varian instead. Another very sturdy presence in the front line that's hard for Li Ming to blow up. Not a bad ban. Excellent. Next 2 picks here from Came From Behind. All of their front line and a flex position available to them. Alright, there's the Muradin and Tychus. Muradin offering a little bit of Immortal Burn himself, potentially, depending on what you pick at level 4, and Tychus just a decent all-arounder. Cassia, a bit of a sexy vegan special, so I'm excited to see how they perform on the hero. I know that it's one that they've played plenty of times. We'll see what the offlane choice is. It's going to be Chen for MDC. Very interesting. Not the most common offlane choice, and can really punish the no cleanse that Came From Behind have opted for here. With Keg, his ability to keg these squishy targets into his team could be really tough for Came From Behind to deal with. And Sonya, the last pick. Okie dokie. So let's take a look at these 2 squads as everybody gets loaded into our first game of the NGS season, Season 18. So we've got Li Ming, Cassia damage for Epicenter, with Vala Tychus on the side it Came From Behind. Both offlaners offer a decent amount of diving threat if Sonya opts for Leap and Chen opts for really either of his heroics. It's going to be tricky for Anubarak to stand and deliver here, I think. But his Beetles will be able to soak up some of that Vala Q damage. So it really could go either way. I'm excited to see how our teams handle it here in the first game of the season. So let's introduce our teams. Here on the left, in blue, we've got Came From Behind. Huckett playing Tychus, Top Gun on Vala, Mojo playing Sonya, Mr. Hustler on Muradin, Greek Freezer on Stukov. And to the right in red, we've got Magnitude Epicenter. Polite Gamer on Anubarak, TTV Sexy Vegan on Cassia, MDC on Chen, Delta Sniper playing Li Ming, and Mac Daddio on the Rhaegar. As we get into the first wave of the game, we can take a look at our level 1 talents. Top Gun has opted for Puncturing Arrow at level 1, looking to stack those Hungering Arrow quests. That Hungering Arrow quest. And that will likely be paired with Monster Hunter at level 7. Not the only quest at level 1, we've also got Freshest Ingredients for MDC on the Chen. A great cleanse from Mac Daddio onto Sexy Vegan. He'll get the Cassia out without too much trouble, and first blood going over to Magnitude Epicenter. That's a reset for the Li Ming, but Mr. Hustler's able to escape with another timely dwarf toss. Quick check-in here on top side, and we can see Chen beating up Sonya. It's a tough lane for Sonya, frankly. Chen is able just to sit there and auto-attack you and freeze the wave. Alright, Top Gun back in action here. A great set of CC going on to Polite Gamer there. Anubarak squashed. First kill, 4 came from behind. And that's going to give them the green light to get onto this bottom mercenary camp. These Khazra will offer a little bit of experience and potential pushing power here. You can see Sexy Vegan on the minimap headed up to top lane to try and match that pressure with MDC shoving Mojo out of lane. So we'll see how quickly the Cassia is able to get through that camp. And it looks like Came From Behind are not going to contest it. So Cassia, relatively healthy, is going to be able to get by for a while there on her own, thanks to the 30 armor that her avoidance trait offers her. Polite Gamer has done a pretty good job stalling the push here with the trait beetles, but now that we've got the mercenaries connected on the wall, we've got about half of the HP of both towers down here on the bottom side as level 4s unlocked for both of our teams. We've got one good spread for Greek Freezer on the Stukov, Master Assassin for Tychus. You can see Sexy Vegan has already broken off to start their Shaman camp here in the back, with Came From Behind following suit. Other things to note, Deadly Strike for Chen, really ramping up the damage that Chen is able to offer. And we've got Healing Totem for MacDaddy-O on the Rhaegar at level 4. It's a great vision tool, as well as excellent healing throughput, so I think it's a great pickup here on BOE, where you do spend a lot of time posturing for position and playing that vision game. MacDaddy-O caught by another great combo from Greek Freezer there. The weighted pustule landing true there. Sexy Vegan getting chased down by Mr. Hustler here. They do not have their support in range to help them this time, and there's another combo from Greek Freezer. This Stukov is really showing up and doing work for the side of Came From Behind. A quick 2 kills is going to net CFB a speedy first half Immortal burn. Still relatively even on experience. More hero XP has gone over to Came From Behind, but the minion XP definitely favors Magnitude Epicenter here. We've got a 4 defense, and with Sexy Vegan rotating in, it is a full 5 hero defense here on the Immortal. They're looking to get those resets for Delta Sniper on the Li Ming, and they get the first kill onto Tychus, and they get another. Mojo falls on the bottom side of the fight. Of course, there's only about 1,500 HP left on this left side Immortal. So Epicenter are going to have a tough time getting to parity as far as Immortal HP is concerned. MacDaddy-O and Polite Gamer putting a lot of damage into Mr. Hustler, but without the takedown, Muradin is not too afraid to eat that damage. Top Gun gets another Q onto the Immortal. They will fall here, but it's after having secured the objective. Mr. Hustler grabbing both globes. Level 7s are online for both sides now. We've got Relentless Soldier for Tychus, so he'll get armor anytime he's stunned. And Monster Hunter, of course, for Top Gun on the Vala. Kind of the important talent for their Immortal burn. We've got Sexy Vegan continuing on with this auto attack build, going for Surge of Light at 7. There's the stun onto Polite Gamer, and we can hear those excellent Seeker proc sounds. Delta Sniper doing a lot of damage to that Immortal. So top fort wall goes down, but the fort itself doesn't take too much damage here, MDC still relatively safe on the bottom side. Of course, we do have a rotational advantage for Came From Behind. Sonya is on their way up. MacDaddio, the target for Mr. Hustler there. Greek Freezer falling very low. It is 5v4, however, and so Cassia will fall. Sexy Vegan couldn't armor their way through the outnumbered fight. Of course, NDC, no slouch, is doing something with that rotation. They've started on this bottom side camp. We'll see if they're able to get it before Sonya finishes off that rotation to the bottom side. Mr. Hustler jumping in, a great Stukov combo onto MacDaddio, and that's another kill secured for Came From Behind. The race towards the heroic talent tier is on, and Came From Behind draw nearer still. We'll take a look here at our level 10s, and Sonya is able to take the camp off Chen on the bottom side. Chen's HP is very low there, so there was a fair fight over it. And there it is, Heroics online for Came From Behind. We've got Commandeer Odin, Reign of Vengeance, Avatar, and a couple late decisions. Likely to be leaked given the slam build that we see from Sonya. And I can never predict what Stukov's like. I'm a Swipes favor. Yeah, okay, Greek Freezer knows. Swipes is like better Shove. Shove is just one person. Swipes is every person. So there's the keg in. Mojo leaps out, but they're still gonna fall. Of course, CFB are burning this Immortal HP. A double stun followed up by the Stukov combo. Delta Sniper in a bit of trouble there. Cassia has already used the Ball Lightning, and Delta Sniper will draw the Ancestral Healing. Mr. Hustler's doing a great job putting a lot of threat onto the backline of Magnitude Epicenter. Oh, a stun into stun, and that's gonna be all she wrote for Polite Gamer and Uberak. The bug squashed again. Another kill going over to CFB, and that will likely secure them the rest of this next Immortal phase. Both objectives going in their favor means that they will have a lot of structure damage at their back. Top Gun, gonna Hearth, get some mana. Of course, all structures are still alive on the side of Magnitude Epicenter, so they are trailing a bit, but far from out of the game. They continue to scale pretty well here. Polite Gamer gets the stun onto Mr. Hustler there. Greek Freezer looking for another raw combo onto Polite Gamer. Oh, another great set of stuns onto Polite Gamer. Anubarak is able to burrow charge to safety. Sonya goes down on the top lane, likely a keg play under the fort. With that said, bottom fort is likely to go down here. Mr. Hustler taking a lot of damage, but they do have their trait healing to fall back on. Second Wind will take care of business for them. They're going to have to pop the Avatar here. Fend in, and the Cocoon onto Stukov means there's no healing and no swipes to save the Muradin. So a great engagement from Magnitude Epicenter after their bottom fort went down. They've evened up on XP, taken a slight lead, in fact, towards the level 13 talent tier. Checking in on top side, MDC looks like they're the target, but they've sniffed it out. Came From Behind will get onto the top camp, but they will not get the Panda kill. Mojo doing their best to defend against the 4-hero push in bottom lane. You can see Tychus and Muradin rotating in now. Huckett and Mr. Hustler are going to be able to support their Sonya. Level 13's online for both teams now. We've got Bronzebeard Rage. Virulent Reaction for Greek Freezer. So those timely and well-placed Stukov combos are all the more threatening now that they've got a root behind that, some hard CC at their back. We've also, on the other side, got Burning Beetles, Illusionists. Storm Shield. Earth Shield, rather. Nice. And, of course, Chen has gone for enough to share. There's the flank engagement here. Polite Gamer looking for some stuns, goes in onto Mojo. The keg separates the team a great deal. Delta Sniper chasing onto Mojo here, but they're able to get some sidesteps. Mr. Hustler now deep in the backline, eats another stun. The Virulent Reaction lands onto 2. Rhaegar's in a lot of trouble here. They do still have Ancestral available. Oh my gosh, so much damage from Delta Sniper. He's going to take out the Sonya. They're looking for more. Greek Freezer pops the flailing swipes. Another jump in from Chen, and that'll be another kill secure for Magnitude Epicenter right as the objective spawns. Mr. Hustler looking for another kill onto MDC here. The Ancestral will be enough. Chen is a very resilient hero thanks to his shielding and stagger mechanics. So 2 kills will net Magnitude Epicenter a pretty nifty lead here on this 3rd Immortal phase. I'd love to see them go on Mr. Hustler here with their stuns. Ooh, a short burrow charge can be hard to land. Mr. Hustler taking a lot of damage here, and now it's Tychus to fall. Mojo in a lot of trouble here. They don't have the leap to escape. They use it for engage. Another Virulent Reaction lands onto 2, but in the end, Chen is able to knock away the rest of Came From Behind. So Magnitude Epicenter really coming online now. They will have a limited ability to burn this Immortal with Delta Sniper at such a low mana level. The only downside of getting lots of resets with Li Ning. And we can see MDC has procced that topside camp, so they're going to have pressure in both lanes thanks to the Mercenaries as well as bot side objective. And it looks like Delta Sniper was unable to find time for the Hearth, opting instead to tap at bottom keep there. Unfortunately, they were a bit slow on the camp, so Magnitude Epicenter are not here for the initial push with their Immortal. Came From Behind, able to get through almost all of the shield HP before Magnitude Epicenter even make it on the scene. And it's 4v5, once again a 5-hero commitment to the bot lane from Came From Behind. MDC is pushing on the top side with a large wave and Shaman camp, so there is a fair bit of structure damage here. Mojo might be in trouble. Polite Gamer has found them on the rotation. There's one stun, looking for a second. They do have leap to escape if they need it, but it looks like they're gonna escape. Oh, so close! Delta Sniper almost securing it with the heroic there. Disintegrate doing a fair bit of damage. And Came From Behind are sticking in bot lane. They've pushed out a wave, they've got a camp, but Epicenter have taken that opportunity to push a little bit further onto the top keep wall, bringing a little bit of parity to the structural HP that both sides have. That camp on the bot side will need to be dealt with. We can see MDC hearthing to do just that after having secured that topside camp. It's a full Q build from Huckett on Tychus, opting for armor-piercing rounds and spray and pray at 16 and 13 respectively. Of course, 16 is a huge power spike for Top Gun, getting Seething Hate. Okay, I would have assumed Manticore. Seething Hatred at 16 is also a talent that follows specs. We've also got percent damage from Mojo here at 16, thanks to Giant Slammer. And with the commitment of Commandeer Odin, that top fort will go down with the Immortal spawning in the next 4 seconds. A bit of a trap here set up for the side of Magnitude Epicenter, but they're able to get a lot of damage here onto Mr. Hustler. They do have the leap out to safety, so they are going to make it. In these extended poke battles, Top Gun will get a fair bit of stacking done on the Hungering Arrow level 1 quest, but I think Magnitude Epicenter with Delta Sniper have a much easier time getting poke damage in with the Li Ning spells. There's the leap in onto Li Ning. They are able to get the teleport out after Mac Daddio cleanses. Sexy Vegan in onto Huckett, and they will go down. 2 kills. The resets keep coming. Delta Sniper wants blood. Greek Freezer catches one with a brilliant reaction, but Mac Daddy-O, with the timely Ancestral, will save the day. Delta Sniper looking for Greek Freezer here, unable to connect. I would love to see Magnitude Epicenter get top keep and then fall back to the objective rather than just picking up the halftime show. With 4 heroes dead this late in the game, I think the death timers are long enough, and with Polite Gamers Beetles, they could generate some siege. Of course, a full HP Immortal is nothing to sneeze at. They'll be plenty happy to pick that up, so hard to fault them for that choice. Alright, other level 16 talents that I did not call out before. We've got Fireflies. An interesting choice, not one that lots of folks pick, but Delta Sniper does favor the talent at level 16, increasing the speed at which magic missiles fly. It also reduces the cooldown, so able to get a lot more of that Seeker damage out. Excellent synergy with their level 7 talent. Super Strain from Greek Freezer will help a fair bit when his allies get stunned. It instantly procs a heal if they are infected with his goo. And we did see Mac Daddy-O get some use out of the Earthbind totem, Earthgrasp totem rather, at 16. Almost a root available to Rhaegar now at this point. Mojo taking a lot of damage here from Delta Sniper. Magnitude Epicenter playing at a very safe range. They will secure this keep most likely. Perhaps they'll look for a little bit more, but they are very close to the Storm talent tier here. I would love to see them give this, but they do have pressure on top keep. Here it is, 4v5. The root onto Chen, however. Oh, the Ancestral not in time. Polite Gamer burrows in. Mr. Hustler taking a lot of damage here. There's the Ball Lightning. Polite Gamer stuck on an island here. And looking for the fight pre-20, Magnitude Epicenter end up costing 2 timely kills. It's a really tough time to fall behind there. Mr. Hustler and gang will take that opportunity to get onto this Shaman camp and perhaps push onto the top keep. They may feel that they've got a little bit too much homework to do throughout the battleground. Checking in on Storm talents now that they're online for Epicenter. We've got Rewind for Anubarak, Titan's Revenge for Cassia. Her attacks now ignore armor. Chen has opted for Purifying Brew, so giving him an unstoppable whenever he uses his trait. Talrush's Elements for Li Ming, and Farseer's Blessing for Mac Daddy-O on Rhaegar. The double Ancestral. Come From Behind are poised to stick to their namesake. We'll see if they stay in this sieged up position here. They do have some really solid sieging tools with Big Red Button from Tychus at level 20. We've also got Ariat's Crater, Acrobat, Rewind, and Pop Off for the rest of the Storm talent here, or Came From Behind. The camp in the bottom lane will push against Epicenter. I'm not sure if they need to go deal with it, given the catapult pressure that's in their favor in that lane, but they have opted to send all 5 heroes. MDC is here, trying to scout a little bit. Epicenter are trying to get in here, but that is the first set of... Oh, there's the stun out from Mojo. They're in a lot of trouble. There's the CC onto the... Oh my gosh, so much damage onto the Tychus as well, so that's 2 kills immediately. They're looking for Greek Freezer here on the backside, and that's another set of kills. MDC caught on an island here. They are able to get the Purifying Brew and escape. Mr. Hustler taking so much damage, they do have the Dwarf Toss to get out. So with those 3 kills, Magnitude Epicenter are going to look to end the game if they can. They've got a fair bit of damage, a great double stun from Hustler. Top Gun is able to put out a lot of damage on the Vala with the Acrobat Q build here. And we can see MDC receiving the Ancestral, the AoE Ancestral at that. Polite Gamer taking a lot of damage. The stun's in onto Top Gun. but most of the damage is committed here to the core. Respawns in the next 15 seconds, and I don't think that's going to be in time. So game 1 of Season 18 of NGS is going to go in favor of Magnitude Epicenter. GG and well played. An excellent first game to kick off this season. Very exciting to see our two teams go up against one another in a very evenly matched Battlefield of Eternity. It was a real nail-biter. I wasn't sure who was going to take it, but in the end, Magnitude Epicenter had the goods. They were able to get those Li Ming resets and have some serious teamfight impact. So really excellent synergy between the inaugural and Li Ming there. Let's take a look at our post-game stats. We can see Top Gun, top of Came From Behind's damage charts, but it's nothing compared to Delta Sniper's 86, almost 87,000 hero damage. Really pumping out that hero damage with the Li Ming. And staying true to the name, Delta Sniper went with the Sniper Li Ming build, Seeker at 7, and Fireflies at 16. So an excellent first game, a heck of a way to start off the NGS season. Very exciting. Let's kick over to our Battleground draft to see where we're going to be headed for Game 2. And it looks like we have a lobby here shortly. I will say Came From Behind looked very coordinated, very strong. They also were set to come from behind. I believe PP Wolo called it out in chat. And as their name suggests, they are not ones to back away from a engagement. It's what brought them to become grand finalists, grand champions of Division B last season. And it looks like we are headed to Volskaya Foundry for Game 2 here, as selected by Came From Behind. So it looks like Came From Behind really do prefer the Battleground selection, as it was their choice to pick first pick or map pick. For any of those who tuned in midway through Game 1, welcome. Thank you for joining us for the first game, the inaugural game of Season 18 for the Nexus Gaming Series. It's great to have everyone here. It's very exciting to get to see how these teams match up. On the home team, we've got Came From Behind. As mentioned, they were champs last season, newly promoted, looking to make their name known here in Division A. And on the challenger side, Magnitude Epicenter, a team of familiar faces, but newly formed this season. MacDaddio on the Rhaegar also looked very strong. I gotta say, some of those purges and ancestral healings were extraordinarily timely. So I'll be curious to see if Came From Behind alter their ban strategy to address that in this coming Battleground, or in Game 2. Honestly, I don't know that Volskaya necessarily favors a certain healer or not. So the fact that Rhaegar scales late, I think, is relevant here. Volskaya Foundry is pretty well known for being a battleground that it is difficult to end games on, given the relative low power of the objective. And also, I'll call out Delta Sniper on the Li Ming once again. It is a signature hero for that player. They looked extraordinarily strong on it in Game 1. It's a decent pick here on the battleground as well. Lots of the fights taking place not in the not in lanes where minions are likely to interfere with her magic missiles and orbs. All of the objective points are kind of wide in the open there. We'll see if Epicenter want to change any of their bans from last game. I, of course, neglected to write them down, but I believe we saw a Garrosh ban, and Garrosh is pretty solid on this battleground as well. Being able to stand on a point and have his opponents need to step up to him can mitigate some of the difficulty Garrosh faces when dealing with engagements. It can feel really bad to just get knocked off your horse all the time as Garrosh, as people kite you, but if the team kites too far, then they don't secure the objective. So it's not a bad map for the War Chief. Alright, Anduin and Blaze bans. Blaze continues to be a very strong hero in the meta in the off-lane position. Some have played the main tank Blaze. I'm not sure if that's in Epicenter's bag of tricks, but that is part of what makes Blaze so nice, is his flexibility in that role. And there's the Kel'Thuzad ban. So Kel'Thuzad, my research tells me, is a bit of a special pick for Mr. Hustler. Mr. Hustler also has a very strong Alarak. So we may see another ban there. There's the Cassia ban, not wanting to deal with sexy vegan on that hero once again. It was first pick Li Ming last time, and it's going to be first pick Garrosh this time round. So they're able to snatch up the angriest of the orcs. Ah, yes. Zul'jin. It wouldn't be a Volskaya game without Zul'jin, Huckett, and friends looking to stack the troll to high heaven, I imagine, and another Stukov pick for Greek Freezer. So, I'll be interested to see if Epicenter go for the Chen again. Not having the cleanse, as I called out, was kind of tough for Came From Behind to deal with last game. There is Tassadar, another favorite for the side of Epicenter, and Sylvanas. So all of the damage locked in now for Epicenter. No healer picked yet. We could see a ban on it on the side of Came From Behind. A sustained healer. Yeah, there's that Rhaegar ban we were talking about. With how strong MacDaddy-O was on it, I'm not surprised to see that target ban. He's also just a strong hero, frankly, with how he scales. And there's the Anubarak ban. Okay. So no diving for Came From Behind, at least not from the Underking. Came From Behind do still have a lot of flexibility in where their draft pivots. They could opt for a traditional double front line. They could go for a double support if they so chose. It was something that they did a little bit last season, but that, of course, was with a slightly different roster. Varian and Genji. All right. We saw a Varian ban last game, though I can't remember from which side, so it could be a comfort pick for Mr. Hustler. Top Gun, definitely a strong Genji player, having gone up against it last season myself. Last two picks here for Epicenter. They need an offlaner and a healer. I'd be surprised if we didn't see traditional heroes in those roles, and here I am surprised. Look at that. It's a Stitches. Followed by Uther. Okay, so not a lot of sustained healing for extended point fights, but Uther is an excellent answer to the Genji, and there's Deathwing for the side of Came From Behind. Very cool. So let's head over there and take a look. So for game 2, came from behind looking to get Zul'jin stacked. Garrosh is a pretty solid target to stack on. The Stitches, I'm not sure what an offlane Stitches is going to look like, I'll be frank. Of course, they're not going to be able to hook Deathwing, as he is permanently unstoppable. But the Gorge onto any of the other 4 from Came From Behind could be pretty potent. Tassadar Wall will be a little bit of CC that interacts with Deathwing. So let's see how it shakes out as we get into game 2 of our first series here. Hopefully, Came From Behind will be able to take it to a game 3. We can introduce our teams here on the left in blue. We've got Came From Behind, Huckett on Zul'jin, Top Gun on Genji, Mojo playing Deathwing, Mr. Hustler on Varian, and Greek Freezer playing Stukov. To the right in red, we've got Magnitude Epicenter, MDC on Stitches, Polite Gamer playing Garrosh, TTV Sexy Vegan on Sylvanas, Delta Sniper on Tassadar, and Mac Daddio playing Uther. Checking in on our level 1 talents, and it looks like we've opted for Bone Slicer at level 1, so a Q build from our Zul'jin player, as opposed to the more common Recklessness. First toss in onto Top Gun there, and it is extended throw range, unrivaled strength. MDC gets the huck onto Mr. Hustler. A great weighted pustule, catches 2, Polite Gamer taking a lot of damage, as is Mac Daddio. So these early HP trades definitely favoring the side of Came From Behind in spite of having a relatively weak early game with the Varian. There's another throw and follow-up stun from Mac Daddio. Mr. Hustler isn't gonna make it out alive. Into the fray, committed by Polite Gamer there. But that will secure first blood for Magnitude Epicenter here in game 2. Huckett already up to 3 stacks on their baseline You Want Axe quest. That means they've landed at least 15 auto attacks. Each count of the quest represents 5 auto attacks. They're falling very low here. They will get some support from Mr. Hustler. And Epicenter are taking care of business on the other side. A 3-hero commitment here to that turret camp. They're able to commit that many heroes to the turret because of how well Tassadar clears waves, of course. Both his Q and his W, an excellent AoE utility for that wave clear. Came From Behind have opted to get their early siege camp there, put a little bit of pressure on the lanes. Mr. Hustler looking for a taunt. There's the toss in. There's no damage behind him here. He did get another stack on his Lion's Maw quest. Looking for 25 stacks of that Lion's Fang, after which he will have a 50% slow on his ranged crowd control. We've also got Shuriken Mastery for Top Gun, getting use out of the DQ build Genji while it is still unnerfed. But he's not going to be able to do that from spawn. An excellent play from Polite Gamer and Mac Daddio. Their synergy with the CC and follow-up is spot on. Not too many stacks yet for Silver Touch from the Uther, but another kill this time onto Stukov. Mr. Hustler gets hooked back in. Sexy Vegan might look to get the trait going, but it looks like instead they will back up. Mojo looking for a little bit of channel time perhaps, falling a little bit behind. Their wave clear not quite as good as Stitches, it would seem. And Black Arrows committed on the top lane means that top wall already lost a tower and gate. Of course, we can still see Magnitude Epicenter fall back to do their siege camp, they're going to do just that. They've opted for Unstable Poison at level 4 rather than Mercenary Queen. Oh my gosh, and came from behind, snuck the healing camp. That is the benefit, of course, to doing your siege camp early, is it gives you a little bit of opportunity to group up while your opponents split to get a better timing on their siege camp. There's the cleanse from MacDaddy-O, Hand of Protection, an excellent save with how Greek Freezer has been finding these combos. A lot of damage onto Huckett here. Flight Gamer getting a stun onto 2. There's the taunt onto Vegan. Oh, and the Silence Puddle. MacDaddy-O looking for one more heal. They're able to make it out alive. So just one kill on the side of Came From Behind, but that's going to buy Mojo a little bit of room to get up to top lane to help clear this up a bit. And Came From Behind are going to take advantage of their power play and get onto this turret camp. Get all... Oh, Delta Sniper caught in a weird spot. Top Gun able to chase him down here, but they're likely to fall. They may still have one of their mobility spells, but MacDaddy-O will clean it up. So a 1-for-1 trade. Came From Behind were able to secure the camp, but had to commit the turret there nonetheless. Checking in on top side, Mojo was able to save the bottom side tower. So they haven't got that extra structure XP. Speaking of XP, we are just around the corner from the heroic talent tier 4 Came From Behind. Epicenter not too far behind themselves. We'll see how our teams look to talent here at the heroic tier. Mr. Hustler in a lot of trouble, though. Into towers, they will fall. Able to get a stun here onto Huckett. There's the slow cleanse from their level 4 Voodoo Shuffle. And heroics, we haven't seen any used yet, so we can talk about which ones were selected. It is Gorge, Taunt, Wailing Arrow, Black Hole, and Divine Storm, rather than D-Shield. And on the other side, we've got Tazdingo, Dragon Blade, not X-Strike. Very interesting. Not what I am accustomed to seeing. Bellowing Roar, Shield Wall, and Flailing Swipes once again for Greek Freezer on the Stukov. Of course, if you're Came From Behind, you're not necessarily that upset to have lost first objective. It's giving Huckett an opportunity to continue stacking. You want Axe, already up to 17 stacks on that baseline quest. And Rising here. I would love to see Epicenter get a little bit of split value here. Top Gun got gorged, and it looks like they're going to make it out. Oh my gosh! The taunt from Mr. Hustler will secure the kill. Top Gun able to escape. Genji's mobility makes him not the most ideal gorge target. So after first objective phase is complete, the wall for front and or for mid and top forts go down. Checking in on bot lane. Relatively even structural damage there. Came From Behind. See Sexy Vegan in the bot lane and know that Delta Sniper is still walking back from spawn, so they've got plenty of time to pick up another heal camp, that Biotic Emitter, offering a fair bit of team fight utility and a lot of experience. We can see the heroic XP favors Magnitude Epicenter, but that mercenary XP heavily favoring Came From Behind, thanks to those two Biotic Emitter grabs. Level 13's just around the corner here from Came From Behind. We've got Genji soaking up in top lane. Mojo gets a stun. There's the wall from Tassadar. They're going to have to commit the Cataclysm to get out. NBC trying to get a hook there. There's the Hand of Protection. And, oh my gosh, a great save from Polite Gamer into the fray. Another cleanse on the side of Magnitude Epicenter, so they've got a couple different ways to get their allies out of trouble. And on the top side, the siege camp didn't end up connecting with the wall, so not too much lost. Level 13 has unlocked the fishing hook, sized hook for Stitches. I don't know if it's called anything anymore. I still call it fishing hook. Which is to say that MDC's threat range has increased again. What do we have? Lacerate for Zul'jin. Huckett opting for the increased slow on Kincleave. There's the taunt onto Polite Gamer, followed up by the Stukov silence. MacDaddy-O able to get another cleanse here. They know that they're outnumbered with Mojo in range, so they commit the Hand of Protection to get them to safety. Not a bad call. It's going to be a pretty easy cleanup on this siege camp for Came From Behind. MDC has pushed out a wave in bot, so this is an outnumbered fight in favor of Magnitude to Epicenter. MDC unable to connect with the hook there. Opting for Vile Cleaver and Putrefaction at 4-7. Not super familiar with them, frankly. Polite Gamer would love to get another toss, fishing with the Q. There's the hook and Gorge onto MDC. They're going to get over the wall there. The black hole and back under the fort. Lots of healing. There's the protected Divine Storm, and Mojo will fall as well. Top Gun looking for kills here with Dragon Blade, but it's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Magnitude Epicenter. Genji, in a fair bit of trouble, does still have the Swift Strike to get out. That position looked pretty hairy, but in the end, he is a hero with all sorts of mobility, so he's going to make it out without too much trouble. And only 34 stacks on the Shuriken Mastery at level 4. It is a big power spike once that quest is complete. Its synergy with Shingon at level 13 means that you can get those triple procs on your shurikens a lot more often with the reset mechanic that the Shuriken Mastery gives you. Level 16's online now. We've got Reflect for Top Gun. No Mercy for Huckett on the Zul'jin is going to increase the threat that Polite Gamer has. His auto attacks now ignore armor, which is a great deal of the survivability in Garrosh's kit. So we'll see if that, coupled with Conflagration, at level 16 for Deathwing, is going to make life difficult for Polite Gamer. Banner of Ironforge for Varian at level 16, opting for extra survivability rather than spell power, which I think is a fair pickup with a auto-attack focused team like a Zul'jin comp. Mojo taking a lot of damage. We can see that armor shred. There's a great Indomitable from Polite Gamer to get them out of trouble. On the bot side, MDC continues pushing waves into this bottom fort wall. The gate is down. The tower's relatively even structure-wise, so not too much of a lead here. Both teams doing a pretty good job in preparation for the third objective phase. With how many of Came From Behind are represented in bot lane, Magnitude Epicenter know that it's just in their interest to race this objective. Of course, Huckett on Zul'jin at 21 stacks has a fair bit of siege damage available to them, so they don't... Oh my gosh. MDC gets the point-blank Gorge. Greek Freezer in a world of hurt, but in the end, able to make it out alive. Mr. Hustler able to draw the fort aggro there. A great attempt from the Stitches to punish the positioning of the Stukov. But on the top side, Epicenter has gotten a lot of damage here. Mojo, very low. The Siege Camp getting a fair bit of damage here on that top objective. Objective B has been available for some time. No one wants to pick it up because it's not that strong. both teams a lot more concerned with racing towards the Storm talent tier. Epicenter at a slight lead towards their Storm talents at this point. But that is kind of on a razor's edge here. We can see, once again, that is thanks to their increased hero XP. But other than that, it's pretty much neck and neck. Light Gamer gets the stun onto Huckett. The silence lands onto 2. Huckett hooked in, but able to escape. Did we go for Virulent Reaction again? No, it hungers at 13 this time around. Freak Freezer not opting for the route. Mojo down to 2 armor plates here. 20 armor's not a lot. There's the cleanse onto the Light Gamer. Mojo falling low. A lot of damage going on to the Deathwing, but they're able to escape. Magnitude Epicenter didn't feel like they had a great angle into that team fight. And now NBC is dismounted here. The taunt comes out from Mr. Hustler. A minion eats the gorge from, or the hook from NBC. That would have been disastrous if the Zul'jin had gotten gorged there. Would likely have had to commit the heroic. There's a lot of experience pooling up here in the bottom lane. NBC is going to deal with it. We can see came from behind, getting their top siege camp out with Epicenter matching them. Both teams looking to get all set up on items here. Storm talent tier just around the corner here. And we'll see how our 2 teams look to take advantage. We can see a pretty heavy commitment to the bot side here. Came from behind, are going on MDC. Top Gun able to do so much damage, and Stitches didn't stand a chance. Magnitude Epicenter are gonna have to fall back here if they want to protect this keep. I don't think it's gonna be in time either way. There's bottom keep going down. They'd love to stall backs here if they can. They're getting a fair bit of push in top side. Of course, came from behind, want to stay here as well. Oh my gosh, that's such a good Indomitable. Polite Gamer still taking a fair bit of damage there. Top Gun popping their heroic. There's the Bellowing Roar. Top Gun dissuaded from the engagement. Oh, Mac Daddy-O goes down. Does Top Gun get the reset on E? Polite Gamer gets the taunt. That's 2 kills. Garrosh falls. Uther respawning with their level 20 redemption. So another 2 kills, but with the Genji having died. Oh, Mr. Hustler stopped from backing. Sexy Vegan eating a lot of damage here. The unkillable comes out. Tostinko popped for Huckett, and they're able to get another kill here. Staggering these kills is really difficult for Epicenter to deal with. Of course, there is no Tostinko available any longer. So if they're able to put good damage onto Huckett, he will have to back up. With Delta Sniper going down, I don't think they're going to get that good damage they need, however. Huckett more interested in getting those stacks than hitting the core, and that's going to do it for game 2. In the end, came from behind, able to lock it up on their map pick and take us to a game 3. GG and well played to both of our teams. So there you have it. We're very evenly matched here in Division A, so it would seem. Certainly these 2 teams came from behind, able to really capitalize on a minor misposition from MDC there in the late game and tie up our series. Let's take a look at our post-game stats. So we can see Mojo, top of the team, 4 came from behind, thanks to that Q build. Deathwing putting out a lot of damage with their Flame Breath. Of course, Delta Sniper once again, top of the lobby, nearly 71,000 hero damage. Mojo also contributing a little bit more experience than MDC. I'm going to assume that's mostly due to the death discrepancy. checking in on our builds. It was the upgrade to the heroic at level 20, the Dragon Becomes Me. Top Gun didn't get too much value out of the talent, but it was a natural pick. Not so strange to see it. Anything else out of the ordinary? This all looks pretty normal to me. So an excellent game 2 for this series. Let's kick it back to our battleground selection as our teams get ready for the third game of the series. Welcome to everyone. If I haven't seen you already, happy to have you here in the inaugural game of Season 18 for the Nexus Gaming Series. It's so fantastic to get back to casting HOTS, seeing everybody in chat. Thank you for the follow, Zuzuball. And it's just great to have the community out to support these teams. So thank you everyone for showing up and cheering our folks on. Okie doke. And we do have map selection here. The offlane Stitches was a bit of a surprise. MDC able to get a few pretty cheeky Gorge picks there, but in the end, the mobility and survivability that came from behind sported were enough to get them through a lot of those hairy scenarios. And we're headed to Infernal Shrines for Game 3. Thank you for the follow, Michael and Sucks. So the first series of the season, we have to go to NGS's favorite battleground. Infernal Shrines is definitely the most popular in previous seasons. I won't be surprised if it is the most popular battleground that we see this season as well. And we have seen a Hogger ban come out from Came From Behind, so I expect MDC on the side of Epicenter plays it. This is another great battleground for the Tassadar and Garrosh picks from Polite Gamer and Delta Sniper. I think they did pretty well on those heroes last game. Nothing that Came From Behind couldn't deal with, but it wouldn't be surprising to see those picked up again. And we'll see if the Blaze ban continues to be top priority for Came From Behind. It has seemed like they really want to avoid giving Magnitude Epicenter Firebat. Last game we got Anduin, Kel'Thuzad, and Anubarak bans from Epicenter. We'll see if they are more concerned with anything that they saw in Game 2, and if they will adjust further as we get a little bit further into this series meta. The Stukov ban, I think, makes a lot of sense after Greek Freezer has played it in the past 2 games and looked stellar on it. Both games 1 and 2. There's the Hogger ban. That has taken priority over Blaze here. I'd love to see another Anubarak ban. I think the way that a Varian comp wants to play does not work quite as well on Infernal Shrines, with so many heroes depending on skill shots that the Shrine defenders can block. Instead, opting for a Brightwing ban, so really targeting the hero pool of Greek Freezer there, and a double off-lane ban on the side of Came From Behind. First pick Garrosh, and they said it with authority. They really liked it last game. They want to do it again. Anduin is the immediate response, which is both fun from a lore perspective, and also Leap of Faith is an excellent cleanse for dealing with Garrosh's repositioning CC. And there is the Anub. So it looks like Came From Behind continuing their role-swapping ways that gave them so much success last season. It definitely makes scouting a team a little bit trickier when you're not quite sure who is going to play what role. Next two picks here, it's going to be Tassadar again, and Cassia. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If a hero is available and you felt comfortable on it, why not pick it again? So, Sexy Vegan back on the Cassia, Delta Sniper back on the Tassadar. They've got great shrine clear with the Tass. They've also got decent shrine control with the Garrosh. And we can see the Rhaegar ban. So Mac Daddy-O's excellent performance on the Uther notwithstanding, Came From Behind remain more concerned with their Rhaegar play. There's the Genji ban. And Top Gun looked really strong in the hero. Not surprised to see it get taken away here. I expect we'll see another Tychus game from Came From Behind. They like the hero. Okay. Kael'thas and Imperius. And currently it's Top Gun on the Imperius, so that may be a melee flex and not an offlane Imperius. Leoric for some percent damage brought to bear on the front line of Came From Behind, as well as another excellent hero for clearing Shrine Guardians. And there's the Uther pick. Alright, last choice here for Mojo. Mojo, of course, is worth noting, has picked ranged offlaners before. Not afraid to pick Phoenix and Zagara. So we may see a traditional 2 frontline, 2 backline comp, but played in non-traditional roles. Opting for Samuro. Getting it while the getting's good before the nerfs come in. Can't blame him. Alrighty then. Game 3. Anduin, Anub, Kael'thas, Imperius, Samuro. Very frontline heavy for Came From Behind. If Garrosh is able to get onto Imperius, Anduin, or Kael'thas reliably, I think it's going to be tricky for Came From Behind to live through that. That said, the beefy front line of Imperius kind of makes it a little bit more difficult for Garrosh just to step up for free, and they also have a fair bit of percent damage that they can bring to bear at level 1 if they so choose. So it's going to be a close one. Very exciting. Let's get into it for our third game of the first series here and introduce our teams. Came From Behind here on the left, and of course Magnitude Epicenter playing from the right in red once more. Checking in on our level 1 talents. We can see your typical Mana Addict from Kael'thas at level 1. And Uther has opted for Hammer of the Lightbringer, trying to get CDR on their stun. Light Gamer kind of fishing for mojo on the bot side there. And it looks like Top Gun isn't going to get tossed in. Instead, it's Mr. Hustler. They have opted for Burn the Impure at level 1, so Polite Gamer is going to take a lot of damage from the Imperious. In the end, they are able to make it out alive. They can tap, and they'll be plenty happy. Sexy Vegan stayed a long time on that wall. Garrosh does still have Into the Fray available, and it's going to be enough to save the Cassia, and Greek Freezer responds in kind with the Leap of Faith. So both early game cleanses committed here. Flight Gamer and Delta Sniper both kind of face checking the bush here. Top Gun doing some damage. And Sexy Vegan trying to chase down. A double stun onto the Cassia means their avoidance has fallen, and she will fall. First blood going over to Came From Behind. Sexy Vegan getting a little bit cheeky with that positioning. Cassia is very tanky as long as her avoidance is up. Which she, of course, does not have if she is not moving. Came From Behind will seal away this mercenary camp here, but Delta Sniper is taking the opportunity to chunk a lot of damage as much as possible. And Epicenter is really far ahead on the experience front, thanks to a pretty sizable minion experience lead at this point. So level 4s... Oh, I'm sorry. We're actually a lot closer than I thought. Level 4s on both sides. There's the toss in. Top Gun connecting onto Sexy Vegan once again. MacDaddy-O has gone Uther, not well known for his mana sustain. What do we have at level 4? Battle Hunger, Netherwind. Netherwind is range? Yes. Deflection. Okay. Physical armor. Piercing Light for Anduin. Chastise. And now Pierce. Electric Defense. Inner Light. Interesting. Healing with cooldown reduction on the Q. And Paralyzing Rage for Leoric, opting for the heavier slow rather than the CDR and extra damage on monsters from the old peasants. This is a outnumbered engagement for Came From Behind. Mr. Hustler tossed in. They're able to get the cleanse. It's a early lead here for Epicenter, 14-3 on Shrine Guardians, and they've got a great couple of heroes for stealing those away. Sexy Vegan gets found again by the Imperious Q, but they're able to kite out. Epicenter still able to hold onto this lead. The route onto the Leo is going to put him in a lot of trouble. Polite Gamer has to commit the ally toss to get him out. MDC falling very low here to the Samuro. They're able to ghost walk their way out of there. Top Gun tries to connect with the Q. Doesn't find anyone. A Flame Strike onto 3, however, has all of Magnitude Epicenter very low. And Came From Behind have caught back up on this objective. 30-32 here. They have now taken a lead. I don't think Epicenter can get back in. 39 now from Came From Behind, and that will secure the first objective. A Nailbiter, but Came From Behind stick to their namesake, and they're able to capitalize and secure this first objective, Frozen Punisher. Epicenter do a great job baiting it over the wall, but of course the frozen of this Frozen Punisher means that this fort isn't going to be helping out too much. No follow-up CC for the Punisher jump. And Came From Behind really do need to prioritize winning these objectives given their melee-heavy composition. While Imperious excels at putting pressure on frontline heroes like Garrosh, he does not do a lot of damage to buildings. So having the ability to rely on the objective for that structure damage is very helpful. Mr. Hustler tossed in, no longer has the E. They will make it out thanks to a timely cleanse from Greek Freezer. And there's the double stun onto NDC. They'll fall to a living bomb. So Leoric down again. Another kill going over to King from behind. 2-0 in the kill count. And they're able to secure another right side Khazra camp. Mr. Hustler tossed in again by Polite Gamer. There's the follow-up stun. They do get the burrow charge out. Sexy Vegan taking a lot of damage from Flash of Anger. Top Gun's level 7. That also increases the survivability of Imperius thanks to the shield it gives them. Huckett opts for Burnt Flesh. What else we got? Subterranean Shield, which I think makes a lot of sense with how often the Anubarak has been tossed in. Getting the shield on the burrow can help with the escape and survivability there. Heroics just around the corner from King from behind. This camp will do it for them. We'll see if any out-of-the-ordinary picks come through. We've got Light Bomb, Angelic Armaments, Blade Storm, and Phoenix. Did I say Cocoon and Light Bomb? I think I did. Either way, all the heroics for Came From Behind. Magnitude Epicenter are getting heroics of their own and stealing away this top cruiser camp. They've opted for Black Hole, Divine Storm, Entomb, and Warlord's Challenge. Cassia still thinking about it. I'd be surprised if it went Ball Lightning, given what Sexy Vegan picked in their last Cassia game. But you never know. Maybe they see something that looks favorable for Valkyrie. MDC caught. He's unable to escape with the Wraith Walk. Gets a heal from their Q, and they're gonna escape. Just a narrow escape at that. But it means that Leo will still be alive for this objective. But they've taken an unsafe rotation here. Mojo putting a lot of pressure onto the Bone King. And a excellent bot side siege camp grab gives Came From Behind the opportunity to get started here on the objective early. Huckett pulling the Phoenix very early there. 13-1 on the objective. Mojo Blade Storms for the wave. Mac Daddio finding them and getting the stun. But Epicenter cannot find a mode of ingress onto this objective. A double stun followed up by stuns. Oh my god, it's absolutely enormous, but some great cleansing. There's the pull onto Mr. Hustler. They will escape. Mojo takes out the Tassadar. Delta Sniper isn't able to make it out alive. There's the taunt onto Top Gun. They're taking a lot of damage, but it looks like they're probably going to make it out alive. Mojo tossed in, will die. Sexy Vegan in a lot of trouble here. A great cleanse from Mac Daddio will get the Cassia out. So in the end, it's a 1-for-1 trade, and Magnitude Epicenter are able to get their first real occupation time here on this objective. There is another Phoenix out from Huckett, given the duration of this engagement. They've gotten their heroic back off cooldown, and it's a great zoning tool. It means that they've pushed Epicenter back off the objective, and they're going to secure another Punisher here, this time an Arcane Punisher in the top lane. Polite Gamer having to use the Unstoppable there. And now Epicenter pretty far behind towards their level 13 talents. They do a great job baiting the Punisher over the wall. So Came From Behind aren't going to be able to follow up too quickly, and they're getting through this HP very quickly. But unsurprisingly, they're looking to fight past it. Top Gun pops the Angelic Armaments. Polite Gamer taking a lot of damage, and that's going to do it. Garrosh goes down. The taunt onto 2, but it's not enough. There's the Oh, the cocoon onto Cassia. Will it be in time for John Cena to get here? Oh my god, MacDaddio is a cleanse genius. Able to get the Cassia out yet again. Just on the spot to save their allies when they get stuck in the cocoons. I love this wrap to mid-fort came from behind. They're handily in the driver's seat here, and the Burning Beetles from an Uberak is going to tear through this structure, as well as all of their friendly basic attacks. Magnitude Epicenter aren't out of the game by any stretch. They are continuing to scale. Leoric, a hero known for his late game impact, and is opted for a W-focused build, it seems. Likely to pair Unyielding Despair at 13 with Crushing Soul Crush, I don't know. The W talent at level 16. Mojo able to get out thanks to the movement speed from Windwalk that he picked up on Way of the Wind. Oh, but there's the taunt stun. They will take out Mojo. Chasing Samuro, not often the correct thing to do, but that is a fair bit of comeback XP in their pockets. They are only trailing by 500 on Hero Kill XP now. They're looking to get aggressive here. They've scouted it out with Oracle. There is the cocoon. Sexy Vegan breaks Light Gamer out of it extraordinarily quickly with a Fen. And came from behind, are willing to give up this camp. They do not yet have their level 16 talents. They're just around the corner, and they do not want to take that Eaton talent tier fight down a hero. Level 16, and that's the go button for Came From Behind. Very few have talented... Oh my god, Cleanse and the taunt onto 3. Black Hole will get Magnitude Epicenter out. On the bot side, the Camp and Catapult have started to do a lot of damage here to this keep. Leaving these lanes unattended has been costly for Epicenter. They've found talent tier parity. They're ready to fight here on this objective. The first time in a while that they're able to get here in a timely fashion. Leoric still a little bit late to this rotation. Of course, Kael'thas is also lagging pretty far behind. Polite Gamer gets Mr. Hustler. Has to use the Burrow Charge to escape. With Samuro collapsing in from mid lane, it will be a 5v5 here on the objective. Mr. Hustler tossed in once again. MDC taking so much damage on the Leo will go down, but Mojo themselves falling very low. MacDaddio on the bot side taking a lot of damage. Light Gamer has to toss him out, but there are no more cleanses available. Sexy Vegan able to do a lot of damage and blow up Mojo. A turnaround kill, one I was not expecting. And Leoric will be back soon, thanks to their trait. So, Magnitude Epicenter are able to get a couple more cheeky minion kills. The stun does not connect thanks to another tiny cleanse from MacDaddio. And Top Gun is going to have to kite out here. MDC Wraith walks in, does not connect with their W. We're dead even on the objective. On the top side, there is a catapult mounting, so there is wave pressure, and the presence of bot fort allows Came From Behind to get back, tap, and re-engage. They go on to the healer, take out the Anduin. Of course, both Uther and Tassadar die on the other side of the engagement. 32 to 31, they're so close. Magnitude Epicenter would love to get this objective, but they're not going to be able to secure it. That's going to do it. Came From Behind secure another objective in their favor, and MDC likely to fall to Mojo here. It looks like Came From Behind know the battlegrounds they like and pick them for good reason. Absolutely dominating this third game in the set. Magnitude Epicenter have not been able to get as much success out of their Leoric pick as I think they would have liked. Of course, level 20 is still on the Vista. Epicenter will have Leoric's level 20 available to them. Things like Shroud of the Dead King, Shroud of the Black King, whatever it is. It's the protected one. Burning Despair, offering armor. Silence and Tomb, of course. Buried Alive is a classic pick. And Mojo doing that Samuro thing, running the buildings. There's a catapult connected as well as the auto attacks from Samuro themselves. Storm Talent tier is here for Came From Behind. More than a 2-level lead in their hands. Huckett has fully scaled on the Kael'thas with Fury of the Sunwell, Flamethrower, and Burned Flesh. That Q-centered build doing a lot of long-range siege and hero damage now. Top Gun opting for Brand of Solarian. Oh, and we've got Inner Fire, so movement speed and armor for the target of Light Bomb. An excellent choice to target someone like an Imperious. Top keep goes down, mid keep is the next focus for Came From Behind. They have their Storm talents, but once again, it's difficult for them to siege with such a melee-heavy composition. So that's why we can see them doing this slow play, pushing in waves, and getting the Samuro value on the sides. Of course, Huckett gets a lot of long-range damage. They're able to poke down these keeps. And there's the engagement onto Polite Gamer. Top Gun gets the Light Bomb. They're going to turn around onto Garrosh, who pops the taunt. They're not going to make it out alive. MDC pops the Entomb. Huckett finds Sexy Vegan with a stun on the top side, but it's MDC who's going to fall here. Mac Daddy-O's next. Sexy Vegan doing a lot of damage to Mojo, but with 3 heroes dead, I don't think Epicenter are going to be able to weather this storm. Delta Sniper is going to have an absolutely remarkable 1v5 moment, and the Cocoon is going to stop that from happening. So there you have it, Game 3 in the books. It's going to go over to the home team, Came From Behind. GG and well played. An excellent way to start the series, or the season here in the Nexus Gaming series. What a series. What a great way to start the season. Really back and forth in those first 2 games. But in the end, it Came From Behind's comfort on their map choice that really did in the side of Magnitude Epicenter. We can take a look at the post-game stats here as I try and wrangle the teams for an interview. Mojo on Samuro, just running around the map, killing minions, doing everybody's favorite thing, every offlaner's favorite thing at least. And that kill disparity, it was just a lot of difficult heroes for the Garrosh and Leoric to control there. So not too surprising to see it. Let me see if I can get a hold of one of our winning team members. And great, it looks like I have one here. So we will have a winner's interview here shortly, which is pretty exciting. I always love getting to talk to teams after a win, especially after a first series win of the season. I imagine they are very excited for that. So let's hop over to our interview and head over to the channel. Huckett, congratulations. GG, well played.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling after game one, or how are you feeling after the first series of NGS Season 18?
Well, I'll tell you, it's always great to beat Delta and Mac and MDC. Those guys, we go way back. And they had us on the run after game one, but we come from behind. That's what we did last season, and apparently we're doing it this season.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to stay true to the name. Game one, Battlefield of Eternity. I know that's a battleground that y'all favored last season. Do you see that as a good way to kind of take a team's temperature? Is that like a battleground that you feel fits your playstyle? What is kind of your thought process behind those Battlefield of Eternity battleground picks?
So we're much more into team fighting and 2-lane maps because like people on our team love to just leave waves and run off and kill people. So try to pick maps that don't penalize you too hard for that.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, BOE definitely the poster child for, yeah, we can leave that wave.
As if we get a kill, we win the objective and the game's over. So.
Exactly. Yeah, the Immortals extraordinarily powerful. Game 2, Volskaya. Man, I never really cared for the battleground, but you guys play it, I think, exactly the way it's supposed to be played. Picking up a hero that scales well and ignoring the objective.
Yeah, the objective is terrible, and we do love just hitting it with Zul'jin.
It was really back and forth there for a while. Did the offlane Stitches pick throw you off when you saw it? What did y'all think of that pick when you saw it in draft?
So we got to take Death. We actually know MDC likes to play the Stitches in the offlane, but once we got Deathwing, we've kind of countered all of their CC. We play a lot of CC comps too, and when people pick Deathwing against us, it goes badly if we don't have anything to deal with it. And Zul'jin against Garrosh doesn't really come online till level 16 when I get the Bone Slicer talents. So we kind of expected to be behind until then.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a big difference maker. And of course, Mojo, very comfortable on Deathwing. I know that's a hero that you guys have played a fair bit. And Mojo, I always think of Mojo for those kind of oddball offlane picks. So it's great to see that it worked so well for y'all in that game. And you were able to get that pick off in bot lane on the Stitches and just snowball it from there.
Yeah, and they tried to stop us from Hearthing, I think is when we ended the game.
Yes.
And I just like, oh, you stopped Hustler. I'm gonna step in and kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really wanted to Hearth, but they didn't let us.
Yeah, the Hearth, I think stopping the Hearth might have been one of their better chances at victory, but they had to do it way safer.
They had to get it out, yeah.
Yeah. And then game 3, yeah, the variant shut it down hard. Game 3, it was all y'all the whole time through. The melee heavy comp, Mojo on a hero that does nothing but clears waves. Very out of character for y'all. How do you guys feel the upcoming patch is going to affect your hero choices? You picked Samuro last game, the Genji game 2, both of whom are looking at a couple nerfs.
Is Genji getting nerfed too? I didn't know.
Yeah, the DQ hybrid build is getting a little bit of...
Well, Top's not going to be happy about that. And as for Samuro, we don't play him all that much. I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
Makes sense. Yeah, definitely a surprise pick. I did not expect to see it, but it was a great answer to the Leoric.
You said he does pick it against Leoric, but you said all he does is clear waves, and that's just not true. He harasses the crap out of Leoric, and then also he was there on every rotation to invade camps. Leoric was top, Sam was mid, and we had 5-on-4 every time.
That's true. Mojo was making those rotations down. It was very crisp. Y'all looked like the Season 7 Div B Grand Champions, might I say.
Yeah. We're not in B League anymore.
That's true, but it's a good way to introduce yourselves to Division A. All right, that's enough for me. Before I let you go back and celebrate with the team, the floor is yours for any shout-outs you want to give.
Shout out to Hustler for he really directs us where to go. A few times I strayed and he said, nope, that's not what we're going to do. You're going to follow me and that's it. We're going to win the game. So thanks, Hustler, for never getting his temper raised, just telling us how to play.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited to see how you guys do as the season progresses, and excellent job tonight.
Thank you so much. And thanks for casting.
Yeah, happy to. Take it easy.
Right. Bye-bye.
So there you have it. A promotion is not going to stop our Div B champs from letting their presence be felt in the next division. They looked very comfortable in this Division A bout against Magnitude Epicenter, but Magnitude Epicenter also gave as good as they got. I'll say these teams look very evenly matched, so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of Division A measures up to this example that these two have set. That's going to do it for me here. But that's not the last of the NGS streams that are happening this evening. Later on, in about a half hour, we've got Peldor casting Bunker Fun Time against Magnitude Aftershock. So if you want more Magnitude games in your evening, be sure to catch them over on Peldor's channel, and that's Peldor_HOTS on Twitch TV. Once again, that's about in a half hour, 11 Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And a big thank you once again to everyone who tuned in, all of the volunteers who work so hard to make this league run. It's so great to have it continue to get support from all of these hardworking folks and all of these dedicated players. So we can't have a league without all of your input. Thank you, everyone. And a huge shout out to all of the artists, musicians, and programmers whose work I feature here on the stream. It wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without their contributions, and you can find links to all of their work below. There will also be a credit roll after I sign off here if you want to catch their work there. Check them out. They all do fantastic stuff. And that's going to do it from me here on the channel. Until next time, good luck, have fun, peace, and love.